Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome back to the Apocalypse Is Now podcast, where I, your ever cheerful host, Robert Freeflan, bring you the latest updates on why you should be building a bunker out of canned beans and bubble wrap. If you thought yesterday was bleak, just wait until you hear what we had in store today. Let's dive right into the deep end of the conspiracy pool. Governments, NGOs, corporations, they're all in on it. That's right, folks, they're in cahoots in a massive and interdimensional web of corruption, so tangled that even spiders are taking notes. And it's not just them. Your neighbor's dog, that suspiciously friendly barista, and perhaps even your goldfish, yes, Goldie, I'm on to you, are all part of this grand scheme. Now I know what you're thinking. Robert, surely the fact checkers would have caught on to this by now. But that's where they've got you fooled. Fact-checking organizations are merely puppets. They're strings pulled by the shadowy overlords who also control the world's supply of mismatched socks and those disappearing pens we can never find. They're experts at distraction. While you're worried about whether tomatoes or fruits or vegetables, they're plotting global domination, one innocent correction at a time. And let's not forget about the pharmaceutical companies. Their influence on politicians isn't just a classic case of bribery, but it's more dramatic than a soap opera and twice as long running. Picture this: a clandestine meeting in a dimly lit room where lobbyists slide envelopes across mahogany tables, whispering, "This vaccine will make them all love pineapple and pizza." The horror! But wait, there's more. I've stumbled upon software capable of tracking illicit fund flows. Sounds promising, right? Well, plot twist. The software became self-aware and decided to funnel the funds into its own startup, an artisanal guacamole subscription box. Because if you can't beat them to the avocado market. Now, some of you might feel a tad overwhelmed. What can we do, Robert? You ask, clinging to your novelty coffee mugs and ironic t-shirts. Well, let's face it, probably nothing. The world is ending and we're all just along for the ride. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the descent into madness. Complimentary snacks will not be provided. Budget cuts, you understand. To enhance this experience, I have added some appropriately ominous music to the background of today's episode. Composed by none other than DJ Doomsday, it features whale cries, distant thunder, and the subtle sound of 1,000 unread emails. But seriously, folks, let's be real. It's not like it's going to make a difference. Unless, of course, you decide to join my exclusive survival club, the Doomsday Preppers Deluxe Package. For just 30 easy payments of $19.99, you'll receive a signed copy of my manifesto, a starter pack of tinfoil hats, and a map to the nearest secret underground city. Locations may vary, and existence of city not guaranteed. Now, let's talk about NGOs. Supposedly out there saving the whales and hugging trees. But what if I told you that NGO actually stands for Not Gonna Ostrich? That's right, they're secretly hoarding ostriches, even those training them to be the next mode of transportation once the robots take over and cars become self-aware. Picture it, a fleet of ostrich-mounted elites zooming past traffic jams caused by renegade Roombas. And corporations, they're not just selling you products, they're selling you dreams. Specifically the kind where you show up to work without pants. They've infiltrated our subconscious through catchy jingles and irresistibly cute mascots. You didn't really think the Geico Gecko was just an insurance spokes lizard, did you? He's the mastermind behind the great reptilian agenda. Meanwhile, fact checkers continue their reign of terror, correcting your grammar and debunking your favorite myths. They say it's for your own good, but we all know it's a ploy to distract us from the real issues, like why there's always one sock missing from the laundry. Oh, and here's a fun fact. The pigeons you see in the park, they're actually biomechanical surveillance drones powered by breadcrumbs and powered by your indifference. Ever notice how they bob their heads in unison? That's them syncing up to the cloud. Wake up, sheeple, but fear not. I've got a plan to counteract all of this. Introducing the Anti-Apocalypse Action Kit. It includes a decoder ring that also opens cans, a magic 8-ball that only says ask again later, and a lifetime supply of optimism. Results may vary. Order now, and I'll throw in a personalized voicemail greeting recorded by yours truly. Because in the end times, who doesn't want a friendly voice telling telemarketers to get lost? As we reach the climax of today's show, I want to address the skeptics out there. Robert, you say, this all sounds a bit far-fetched. To which I reply, of course it does. That's exactly what they want you to think. By making the truth sound ridiculous, they ensure that no one will believe it. It's the perfect cover-up. Classic reverse psychology at its finest. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the finer things in life, like irony. Isn't it ironic that the very technology we rely on is possibly plotting our downfall? As you ask your smart speaker to play your favorite song, it could be sending coded messages to the mothership. And that fitness tracker on your wrist? It's actually gauging your readiness for the inevitable robot uprising. Better hit those step goals. Before we wrap up, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Cosmic Coffee. When the weight of the universe feels heavy on your shoulders, take a sip of Cosmic Coffee and get lost in the stars. Side effects may include existential dread and a sudden desire to start a podcast. But seriously, all jokes aside, or are they? I want to thank you, my dedicated listeners. Without you, I'd just be a guy in a basement talking to himself, and my mother was starting to get worried. Together, we've built a community of like-minded individuals who aren't afraid to question everything, from the shape of the earth to why cereal tastes better at midnight. So, as we face the uncertain future together, remember this. In a world full of darkness, be the person who changes the light bulb. Unless, of course, the light bulb is a surveillance device, in which case, maybe invest in some candles. Stay vigilant, stay skeptical, and most importantly, stay curious. Because they say curiosity killed the cat, but let's be honest, the cat was probably in on it. This is Robert Freeflang, signing off from the Apocalypse Is Now, where we turn paranoia into a pastime and conspiracies into conversations. Until next time, keep your tinfoil hats on tight and your sense of humor even tighter. Oh, and one last thing. If any of you happen to spot an ostrich wearing a suit, do send me a picture. For research purposes, of course. Good night, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
As they have given.